As the city of Fayetteville continues to grow, it is essential that our transportation services grow to meet the demands of the new areas and new citizens. Recently, the city hired a firm to create a transportation development plan. This plan will look at our current services and make recommendations for growth and change. While the plan is complicated and long, we want to give you just a brief overview.
A transit development plan is a diagnostic tool. It's used by consultants to come in and do an evaluation of the services as they exist, and then try to get feedback from the public and do some information on the routes or the ridership, that kind of thing. And then they pull that together and they say, where are the gaps and what are the needs? And then they come up with alternatives to try to meet where we are to where we need to be as interventions. For our transit development plan, our consultants, KFH Group, did an evaluation of our vehicles, went on board, did rider surveys, did passenger counts. They do a little bit of a demographic study and get some information about some of the community services, and they pull that together and use that as the tools that they develop, the alternatives that they think that we should consider to close the gap of where we are and where we should be. People spoke up and said that they would like to have evening services. They have a need to be able to go to and from work, to or from educational opportunities. They had a need to be able to participate in evening civic, community, social, or even shopping activities that they didn't have by our system shutting off at the time that it does. They also learned that the community asked for evenings, not only evening services, but Sunday services. They've asked for enhancement at some of our bus stop locations, whether it be benches, whether it be shelters, or even our transfer center. Those are some of the things that came about as far as the needs. Alternatives are the interventions that they suggest to get us from where we are now currently in our service and where we would like to be. And as we evaluate these alternatives, it may be something simple as put new signs up. It may be something as elaborate as extending all the hours on all the routes for every route throughout the system. It might be that we need to add more benches or shelters. They've evaluated that we need to have a new transfer center, which we have a temporary transfer center that's going in on Old Millington Road. That's going to be a modular building that'll be there for a few years while we're waiting on the final development design of the new multimodal center that'll go downtown. So those are some of the alternatives that they come up with. City Council made a commitment to increase the amount that they are providing as local funding for the transit department. It was determined that the per capita amount, the amount of money on a local funding divided by the number of residents and the population of the area, was significantly lower when compared to other comparable cities within the state. So as part of that commitment, that's one of the things we're evaluating now in the 2010 fiscal year, is to make an incremental increase in the local funding to kind of help bring us up to a higher average, closer to the per capita. It's not going to be the entire amount, but it'll get us a lot closer. We looked at efficiencies. We've measured all the cost of per passenger, cost per hour, all those kinds of things. And they determined that a very cost-effective and noticeable change in service would be that if we were to extend the service hours on a few of the routes, the ones that are most productive and carry 50% or greater of our passengers, for a few hours in the evening as a start for where we might be able to go from. Also to consider an extension of one of the east-west routes. Route number 6 right now is one that they're looking at maybe extending it, and that would give us greater connectivity between the east and the west side. Some of the changes that we've implemented in the last couple of years, we've done some replacement of some of the fleet. We've introduced Gillig low-floor ADA accessible vehicles. With those, this spring we also turned on a feature of the Gilligs, and that is an automatic enunciator. It's an ADA enhancement that we've done so that when they're approaching a stop, approaching an intersection, it automatically announces. It's been according to how the bus stops have been geocoded, so it automatically does that. Helps people with auditory or visual, because there's inside LED screens. Outside, you can hear the announcements being made. Other changes are some of the staffing. We have funded a operations superintendent, which has made a huge difference in the efficiencies and the staffing. We have a new safety training coordinator That has made a big impact. We have implemented a new safety training program. Our operators spend 160 hours plus in classroom and on behind the wheel before they're turned solo on to the road and operating a vehicle. And that gives the passengers and the operators a lot safer environment to be in. Our numbers of accidents have come down. So that's that's exciting because I want people to feel like it's a safe thing to ride the bus. We're turning our attention towards security and improving our security features as well. We have new vehicles that are coming this year, 3 more Gillig low floors, and again, that's a part of the vehicle fleet replacement. We have 5 that will be a part of the recovery grant, and these are hybrid vehicles. They're Gillig low 4, but they have a hybrid electric a part to them. And that's also going to be a part of the air quality improvements for the community as well. Our paratransit services we're actually in the process right now of installing a scheduling software, and that's going to improve the efficiencies, and that's going to make it better for ADA passengers. We're going to implement automatic vehicle locators on our paratransit system and our fixed route system. And that'll help us be able to locate our vehicles at all time. We'll be able to give information to the passengers as far as the on-time performance of our vehicles, that kind of thing. There are a lot of exciting changes happening at FAST. We encourage everybody to come out, get on board the bus, take a look around, sit down. It's a lot more comfortable. It's a great place to sit and view the city, take the stress off. Come take a ride.